In this video, I want to take you behind the scenes on the business model at Real and specifically talk about how to build a legacy at Real. Hey, my name is Sharan Srivatsa and I serve as the president of Real. And in this video specifically, I'm going to take you down the path of helping you understand the various components of what it is to actually have revenue share at Real, what it means, what's the math behind it, and how it can benefit you, your team, and your family for years to come. So let me get into the details to give you a high-level explanation of revenue share and why that contributes directly to building a great legacy at Real. So let's get into it. Before I jump into this, I want to share with you the backstory on the business model at Real. And it's important to understand the multiple ways in which you can really sink your teeth into being partners, but also growing and scaling and having a great legacy at Real. So let me take 1 minute and share with you about the three components of build, grow, and legacy at Real. The build component goes entirely to showing how can you grow your business, your sales business, year over year over year, and not only do it in a sustainable but profitable way. The profitable model allows you to have, number one, transparent splits, a low cap, and also an understanding of the fees. And you can do this both for yourself and your team without any monthly fees. Having a profitable business model allows you to understand how you can design it very effectively for you. The grow component I always talk about involves three pieces to the puzzle. The first is, as you build and grow your business, you are helping the company grow. Second, other agents around the world, both in where we are right now in the US and Canada, are helping the company grow, and you're cheering them on, which is really powerful. And the third is Real is building initiatives, products, services, expanding markets, and technology and investments to grow as well. How do you get to participate in that growth? Because in every other business, you are isolated to just the sales component and nothing else. The way we do that is through our stock. We are publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and so you have direct access to our stock. So as you grow the business or other people grow the business, which as the company grows, you should be cheering for the company to grow, because as others grow the business, you benefit as well. And as Real makes all these investments, you get to grow. So as the stock grows, let's say you got in today, you get to benefit overall from the growth of the stock price just by being a part of the business model at Real. But in this video, I'm going to take you down the path of what it takes to have a real estate career. And we know that if you had a career, but there is no exit. The exit doesn't exist for most of us because we're not going to go out and sell our business very easily. It's hard to do, especially since it's so built around our service, our brand, our SOPs, etc. for most people. So I always use this quote. I say, help us build a great company today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow. And in this video, I'm going to show you about this component of legacy. So let's get into the details of it right now. So how do we break down legacy at Real? And I want to tell you about what exactly revenue share is. Revenue share is company's revenue, not an agent's revenue. So let's say there was a house, and that's my house. And let's say there was $1,000 commission. If there's $1,000 commission, we'll just use this as your first anniversary deal. What's going to happen is this $1,000 will go $850 to you, the agent, and this $150 goes to Real. And this is to Sharan, right? Well, this makes sense. Now the question is, what happens to this $150? Well, this $150 actually splits unevenly into two ways. About 50 to 60% of this $150 goes to a specific place called revenue share. And we use this money to reward and pay back our agents from Real's portion of it, not the agent's portion of it. And we use the other 40 to 50% to run the business. And this is our people, our technology, our operations, our licenses, our etc., etc., etc. We use just 40 to 50% of all company dollar collected to run our business. And so as you can tell, 50 to 60% of this is our commitment to giving it back to our agents because we are partners in our growth. The most important thing what I wanted you to realize is revenue share is based on math, and it's based on math of the Real's take of everything, and it does not touch the agent's revenue share in any way. That's really, really important to understand. Second, we are a production-based business model. So let me draw the same exact diagram for you. So let's say there's a $1,000 GCI, of which $850 goes to the agent and $150 goes to Real. You saw how that broke out, right? You saw how that broke out overall for revenue share. But what if there was no production? What if there was no $1,000, which means there is no $850, which means there is no $150, which means there is no revenue share? We are a production-based business model, which is why we have no monthly fees. But most importantly, because of that, we are extremely partnered in everything that we do. Revenue share is based on math and is based on a production-based business model. So as everyone produces, the model works really well, but if people don't produce, there is no revenue share. So I wanted to outline that to ensure the stability of the model overall. We needed to find a way to reward growth while fostering culture, because you don't want just a choice between growth and culture all the time. So for example, we all want to have growth, but we also want to have culture. But what does that mean? What it means is that, let's say, the only reason why people join us, so if Sharon brought on Jenny to Real, Sharon is getting rewarded for Jenny coming to Real, but Jenny also realizes that the only reason Jenny wants to come to Real because of Sharon is Jenny likes Sharon. And that drives culture. When we have folks that join us across the board, they're doing it for a reason, and they're doing it because they love being with each other. And it's really important because most people don't attract people that they don't want to be around. So we want to reward growth while also fostering culture, because now all of them are baked into a great economic relationship, a partnership for the future. And that's why this is really important. So you say, all right, Sharon, that's interesting. Let's get to the details of how revenue share works. Before I do that, I want to show you a true revenue share illustration. This is actual revenue share of a Real agent in the 2022 calendar year. This is in the 2022 calendar year. And this agent has been at Real less than 18 months and had no brand, no skills, nothing special at all, but made a focus to being a servant leader and supporting people. And as they started, this is what happened. So this is the $125,000 mark. So this agent on average is in this range. This is the average that they're starting to clip. They're roughly getting $80,000 a month in passive income revenue share. And this all happened in under 18 months. So I want to give you a sense of understanding that this is very possible. I know for a lot of people that an extra $25,000 a month in revenue share will be life-changing, because it's an additional revenue stream that hedges against your production-based real estate business. So I wanted to give you a sense of this before we actually dove into the details of revenue share overall. I'm going to give you a very high-level picture of this, highlight a couple important things, and then take you through an illustration so that you understand the pieces of the puzzle. So here's how this works. There is the two components that you need to know in this are a concept called Tier 1 agents. Tier 1 agents. And Tier 1 agents essentially means the immediate group of agents that you get to attract to Real. So for example, if it was Sharon, and you brought in agent number 1, 2, and 3, and agent number 1 brought in agent 4 brought in agent 5, agent 5 brought in agent 6. It's very normal, but the key here is this would be your tier 1, this would be your tier 2, this would be your tier 3, and this would be your tier 4, right? And that's the way to understand this overall. So the tier 1 agents metric is really important, because what it does, it allows you to unlock all the tiers of your revenue share component. So when you have 1 to 9 people, under 10 people in your tier 1, it unlocks everybody in tier 1. As soon as you have 10 to 14 people in your tier 1, it unlocks tier 2. As soon as you have 15 to 19 people in your tier 1, it unlocks tier 3. As soon as you have 20 to 24 people, it unlocks tier 4. And when you have 25 people or more, it unlocks tier 5. And of course, we are a production-based model. So these 25 people on your tiers that you have need to be producing in some way. And we consider producing a producing agent is an agent that closes roughly $450 worth of company dollar every 6 months to be eligible to receive revenue share. All right. So for some reason, if I am not producing, I don't get to receive revenue share, because we're a production-based company and we're partners that way, because we don't charge any monthly fees. So the first thing you want to understand is the tier 1 agents and how more tier 1 agents gets to unlock all your tiers. The second component that we need to understand is that for agents to be qualified and for revenue share, they need to be in producing status, and the producing status is very minimal, which is roughly 1 deal equaling $450 of company dollar every 6 months, which keeps everybody in production-based status. That's the super important thing. And as far as how the money flows overall, I'll actually use a diagram to show it to you. That way you can see how each piece of the puzzle actually works. So let me take you through a live situation and then bring it to life for you. So in this live situation, let's say this is Fiona, and Fiona closes a deal. Fiona closes a deal where it is $8,500. So say the GCI is $10,000, right? So the $8,500 goes to Fiona. So Fiona gets $8,500 before she caps, right? But then there's $1,500 left over, which is Real split. And what Real does in this case is Real now has this $1,500 to pay revenue share on. And how we look at it is you get 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, and 1% of GCI, right? And so in this case, based on this deal, Elaine would get $500, Dorothy would get $400, Claire would get $300, Bonnie would get $200, and Amber would get $100. This is because Fiona is directly on Elaine's tier 1, right? And so because of this, everybody in the tiers get paid. So if you were Claire, you may not even know who Fiona is, but now because of this network effect, you get some revenue share based on Fiona closing a deal. Imagine the power of this across the board when it starts happening to everybody, right? That's a really, really powerful thing. So just wanting you to see that sometimes there are not 5 tiers, sometimes there's only 2. Sometimes there's a lot wider, sometimes it's a lot skinnier. But the idea here is this is paid out of Real's revenue share, Real's component, and each tier is paid based on the deal overall. The reason I'm sharing this with you is it's our way of saying, hey, how do you build a great company today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow? As Fiona starts to sell more homes, and as Bonnie retires, can you see the power of Bonnie now making revenue because Fiona, a couple of tiers down from her, actually started closing deals? The power of helping us build a great company together today so that our company can take care of your family tomorrow. All right. This is intentionally part of our 8 ways to make money at Real. And this is the revenue share component of it. The reason I love this component so much is because it goes into the very heart of talking about this one very specific thing, which is it's all based on math. It's helping you build a legacy. And most importantly, it's willable. And let me tell you what I mean by that in a second. This is the most important component. Revenue share at Real is willable to your heirs. So for example, let's say you are currently making $10,000 a month in passive income revenue share at Real, and something unfortunate happens to you. Well, what happens? The music stops for your family because you're not selling real estate anymore. But that $10,000 a month of revenue share that you have generated and created and helped us build a great company today, we get to now pay that revenue share to your heirs. That, based on your designation, whoever are your beneficiaries will start receiving those revenue share payments. So it allows you to have cash flow insurance for your family and your heirs that you get to build today that you would naturally do anyway, but you get to create a willable component of it. Willable revenue share is one of the core components of you getting to help us build a great business today so that our business can take care of your family tomorrow. That goes to the true heart of partnership at Real.